Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 46. How are you? Say hello to Instagram. Hi, everyone. Welcome again to day 46. Today, I think the topic I'm going to talk about will resonate with many of you, but you have to kind of stick around for it so I can welcome people in. How are you? Tell me where you're signing in from. I love to know which part of the world you're in right now. It just gives me the sense of connection, possibility, closeness. So, hi Saima from Pakistan, Fabina from San Diego, Rashmi from Bombay, Mumbai. Hi everyone, Ro from LA, Canada, Mauritius, Trinidad, India, Nassau, Romania, Dubai, California, Delhi, Spokane, Washington. I love it. Chicago. Hi guys, I'm just going to wait for a few minutes for people to come in. Estonia, Spain, Arizona. Ah, that's so cool. I love it. New Jersey. So today I really want to focus on the radical power of acceptance and what that really means and how to use it in our daily lives to enter the stream of a higher consciousness and a higher vibration. Our entire existence from birth has been conditioned to achieve something other than what it is, because we have been trained and indoctrinated to constantly be in a state of wanting, of lack, of striving, of reaching for, of looking outside. I cannot emphasize this enough because it has indelibly shaped our psychology and really messed us up. It has really screwed us because of this deep, primitive uh, wiring, this DNA, this tape that has been put in was a faulty tape. And because it was faulty, now we're all prey. Now we're all screwed. We're all living miserable lives, stressed, anxious, nervous, ashamed, guilty. So it's so important to talk about that initial tape because it's messed us up. And until we understand that it's a tape that's messing us up, not ourselves that is messed up, until we make this distinction, we will keep thinking it's us. And as long as we think it's us, we'll keep playing the same tape and keep feeling ashamed, guilty, and unworthy because that tape that we play is the tape. And we don't see ourselves pressing play, 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 play. We keep thinking it's us. How to tell when I have a client and they come to me thinking that something's wrong with them, and I go, no, nothing is wrong with you. It's the tape. It's your foundational DNA, that the cultural DNA that has been implanted in you, that is the wrong chip. The algorithm is effed up. Now, how to say that? Because you think that you are the algorithm. You think you are that. No, you think you and the conditioning are one, but you don't even realize it's a conditioning. So one of the central epiphanies to achieve in when you begin to awaken is to realize you are not your thoughts. What does that mean? That there is something called your thoughts and there's something called you. They're not the same. What? Eckhart Tolle in his book, I don't know which book, but maybe A New Earth, talks about his moment of epiphany. And his moment of epiphany is very similar to every awakened being's epiphany. When you realize, I am not my thoughts. So he talks about how he's on a train or a bus and he sees a crazy woman talking to herself. And as he watches her, he realizes, oh my God, that's me. I'm constantly talking to myself. She's not crazy. I'm the same way. And when he figured that out, he was already in a state of depression. He was 29 years old. And he woke up when he realized, I am that crazy woman. I am the same way. Byron Katie had her moment of epiphany in a halfway house, watching a cockroach on her toe, if I can remember the story correctly without projection. And she realizes that, oh, The cockroach is not her, something like that. But it's that moment. I had the same moment, not to put myself as, oh, I'm so great too, but really, I had the same moment what to do. When I went to meditate at the age of 21, and the takeaway was, whoa, I'm not my conditioning. Mine really happened on the bus when I saw the two lesbian women hugging and kissing, and I realized I've been told that this is bad and this is not bad. So if I've been told this is bad, but this is not bad, hello, what's going on here? And I had my jarring moment of, oh, I've been conditioned to think something is bad, but it's not really bad. So if I've been conditioned, maybe the conditioning is wrong, right? And these are the sorts of epiphanies you begin to have when you begin to wake up. And it's very uncomfortable because you realize all that you were told was a freaking lie. What? Right? So you begin to undo all the past, and the tape begins to be undone, and the algorithm glitches, and you're like, glitch, glitch, glitch. Like in the Truman Show. Go watch the Truman Show today, people, if you have not seen the Truman Show, because what I talk about is the Truman Show. Okay, all my teachings are about the Truman Show and the Matrix, but these are the two movies that encapsulate the teachings. So Truman, in the Truman Show, when he, he realizes that there's something wrong, like he walks ahead, and so the people who they just met him were in the script, so they finished their lines and then they went back to the next thing. He walks back and he realizes, oh, they were just saying some lines. It's just fascinating when you see the movie, and he realizes it's a glitch, it's a glitch, it's a glitch, and he's like, wow, the Matrix is glitching. What the hell is going on, right? So when you realize the glitches, it's very uncomfortable. And you the Truman Show and the Matrix, Elizabeth, she's asking what other movie. Then you realize, how many of you have seen the Matrix or the Truman Show? I know you've seen the Matrix, but how many of you have seen the Truman Show? It is classic, the how we're living in a matrix, in a show. It's a show. Our conditioning has been wired into us to believe it's the truth. Like Truman grows up in his Truman Show and he thinks that's his world. You and I have grown up in a conditioning and we believe it's our world, and it's not. It's a show from hell. When you realize that, you have a depression because you realize that, a, not many people realize it. So now you realize it and you're like, doesn't everyone see it? What? No one else sees it? I'm the only one that sees it? Now you're really screwed, because it was better that you didn't see it, because now that you see it, now you're all alone. That's what I experienced when I was 21, and I was royally screwed, and I knew it. So I began living two lives. One that was the old life, the life of the bullshit, and then the new life. And I began creating two different identities, really. One was the old self, and then one was the new woke self. And they both could work for a while, for like a good 10, 15 years. And then they began diverging and diverging and diverging. And then the split got too much. And then I changed my whole life. I just left the old life. So this is the Surgeon General's warning on the cigarette pack: at your own hazard. The spiritual life needs to be continued at your own hazard, because you will begin to leave the mainstream and it's worse off. You're worse off. 100%. At first, you're worse off. Okay, I'm sorry to say. And I call it no man's land or no woman's land, because you're like, what the hell? Let me just go back. Ignorance was bliss, right? Awakening is a bitch, let me tell you. I've done it. I've been alone. I've been scared. I've been ostracized. I felt strange, like an alien. Sorry to say, now I'm on the other side, which, where after you go through no man's land or no woman's land, a deep and dark desert, then you come on the other side where you build a new community, right? But it takes a long time and a lot of guts. But it is the only way. I know it because now I look back and I go, it's the only way. What am I saying, and how can it relate to your life? Every time you are in a dark, dark place, in a tunnel. And I believe in many ways the globe is the humanity right now, our humanity is in a deep, dark place, in a tunnel where we don't know where the hell we are, right? So whether you've experienced the death of a loved one, which many of us have, or you know someone who has experienced the death of a loved one, or you've experienced some sort of death because of this coronavirus, death of the habits, death of the addictions, death of the relationship, death of your job, right? Many of us are experiencing a severe molting of the skin. If you have, and most likely you have, you are in a tunnel. The tunnel is scary as can be. There is no doubt that it is scary. It is meant to be scary. Transformation cannot occur without this tunnel. So we are in a tunnel. And the only way through this tunnel is to understand the psychological dynamics of it. In order to change and transform, you have to go through a tunnel. Many of us are in this tunnel in the corona without our asking. That's why it's more scary. You didn't ask for the death of your loved one. You didn't ask for this lockdown. You didn't ask to be in the tunnel. So, this is why teachers like me are quote unquote excited, to use a banal word, because you're forced into the tunnel. And the tunnel is where the change occurs. And as a spiritual teacher, or as an agent of change, or a therapist, whatever you want to call me, and people like me, we wait for this tunnel in people's lives, right? We go, oh, are you at rock bottom yet? No, darn it, go back, suffer some more, because we know that change cannot occur without entering a tunnel. But the tunnel is so scary, no one wants to enter. No one wants to enter. Women have come to me wishing their husbands would die, right? Rather than they turn into the tunnel. Parents have come to me wishing their children will be on medication rather than they enter the tunnel, right? You wish your boss gets fired rather than you enter the tunnel, right? Because the tunnel is scary. But we are here now. We are in the tunnel. It's not that scary, is it? I mean, it is, but it isn't that scary. If you do it with wisdom, the tunnel can be gone through in a powerful, transformative way. But if it's not gone through in a conscious way, it is hell on wheels. That's why I'm here every day, because I know we are in a tunnel, and I know that I can help people to do this consciously. There is a way to do this tunnel consciously that turns the tide of your life in an unprecedented way. But yes, the tunnel is freaking scary, and we are in it. And I'm scared too. I just have been through enough tunnels to know how to go through it, but I'm scared too. And I'm resistant too. And I'm heartbroken too. There is no doubt this has created the most traumatic emotions in us. But let's do this consciously, because we are here. So, whether we like it or not, ultimately, we have to enter acceptance, acceptance of it, radical acceptance of it. Tara Brach has written a book called Radical Acceptance. I love her. Read the book. But what I talk about is that. What the Buddha talked about is that. What the Tao talks about is that. We are heartbroken. We are paralytically shocked. We are in phobia of the next moment. We are terrified of dying. We have experienced death. Now what? Right? What do we do with this now? What do we do with this now? The only choice we have is we have to wake up. We have to accept it, as painful as our reality is. And each one is experiencing pain at different degrees and different intensities. But the beautiful aspect about this moment is that we are all experiencing pain, including me. 100% yearning, longing, missing, striving, scared of our future. The beautiful moment here is universality, is our shared experience. So if you are experiencing pain, know that we are all experiencing pain. Different kinds of pain, different degrees. The person who is a minority in a ghetto is experiencing way more than a person in a mansion. Yet, the person in the ghetto is experiencing way less than the person in the mansion, if the person in the mansion just lost their loved one. So, no comparing. No comparing, honoring that it is just different for each person. We are all unique, but we're not special. We're all experiencing discomfort, discontentment, fear, paralysis, chaos, and turmoil, because we are all globally now in a tunnel. There is not one person, including President Trump, who is not in a tunnel. He can pretend he is not, but he's in the tunnel. So all of us are in this dark tunnel now, okay? We've all lost something. High, low, bigger, lesser, doesn't matter. We have all uniquely lost something. The only way out now is to do this through consciousness. The first step in consciousness is radical acceptance. We have to, whether we like it or not, accept that it is what it is. It's happened. Whatever we are in pain about has happened. The next pain that we are in has not yet happened. We're in two kinds of pains. One pain has happened, one pain has not yet happened. But in the moment, right here, we have no pain. Actually, sorry to tell you, in this moment, we only have pain because we have pain about what's happened or pain about what's going to happen. But actually, in the bare distilling of our mind, there is no pain. The only pain is because we don't have what we wanted from the past, or we're afraid that we will not have what we want in the future. The monks who learn to live in the present and come back to the breath and come back to the breath, they do it. Why? Because they know as long as they're on their breath and their mind is not in the past and their mind is not in the future, if their mind stays in the still point of the present, they will have no pain. To live in the present is to be without pain. But we can't do that. You know why? Because we're deeply attached creatures. We love. We think the more we love, the more we attach, the more we want the past to be in the present. But the past is gone. And it is devastating for us because the past is not in the present. But the beautiful thing also is that the past is not in the present. It's both devastating because we're attached, we want the past in the present, but the pathway out of suffering is to understand the past is not in the present. Do you understand? It's profound. I'm saying the next reason we have pain is because we're afraid of the future, but the future is not in the present. The reason we have pain is because of the future, but it's not in the present. The past is not in the present. That's why I'm crying, but it's not in the present. So actually, the present is okay. The reason the present is not okay is because the past is not in the present and we're crying. We lost our father. We lost our husband. Yes, yes, but that was in the past. The past is not in the present. And I know it's very hard to live in the present without the past. And then about the future. How will I be in the future? But the future is not in the present. So all I have to offer you is that I understand that the past is not in the present. That's why I'm traumatized. And that the future is traumatic looking. But the present, that brief moment, if you can be right here, right now, you will see I'm breathing, I'm alive, I'm okay. I'm breathing, I'm alive, I'm okay. But the moment your thought goes to, but the past, the person from the past is not in the present, I'm screwed. The moment my mind goes to, but the job in the past is not in the present, now I'm screwed. The moment my mind goes to the future, what will happen tomorrow, I'm screwed. What will my kids do tomorrow, we're screwed. We cannot think in the past, we cannot think in the future. It is only when we train our minds to be in the now. But it takes so much discipline. It takes training your mind to be right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now. It takes so much power. Let me tell you, in my own being, I become breathless, keeping my crazy mind in check. Because my crazy mind is, but the past, but the past, but the future, but the future, right? And I'm constantly missing somebody or something. Each one of us is missing somebody or something in this global pandemic. This is the beauty of this pandemic, that we all are missing someone or something. And the beauty of this pandemic is that we have to learn a new way. We have to learn a new way. And the way begins with radical acceptance of the it is what it is. Second step, enter the present moment. Every moment your mind is going crazy, it is only going crazy because you want what was in the past to be in the present. I get it. I get it. But it is not different than you having a teenager, which I have right now. And I want my teenager to go back into the sweet little girl she used to be. I can't tell her that, can I? Maya, go back. I can't because we're here. We're freaking here now, and she is a teenager. Or like our child is gay and we just discovered it, and we're like, can you go back to when I didn't think you were gay? Impossible. This is the brutal nature of life. Once it turns, it turns. It's like the tree saying, leaf, come back. Leaf, come back. Like the tree saying, fall, don't fall. Spring, stay forever. right? You understand what I'm saying? We are fighting the reality of reality. And it's heartbreaking because this is the human uh, tragedy. Why were we put on this earth when we are attached? Right? This is what the Buddha has tried to teach because he saw the human predicament. We bloody can love like nothing else on earth. So that means we are attached. We love our jobs. We love the husband. We love the father. We love the wife. We're attached. This is the human nature to attach. Yet, these things are impermanent. So, by nature of reality and our human nature, we are set up to suffer. So the Buddha said to us, understand that you're set up to suffer. Accept that you are set up to suffer. But I'm going to give you a path out of it, but not without first accepting that we are here to suffer. This is the human tragedy. We love, we attach. Attachment causes suffering. The minute we attach, we're screwed. The better the marriage, the harder to end it. No? My daughter right now is very upset with me. Okay, I did something to make her very upset. And every time I tell her, but Maya, your dad has done what I have done 100 times. Why aren't you upset with him? She will say, straight looking at me, because I care about our relationship more, which makes me very happy. But now I'm in the gutter, I'm not coming out of the gutter. And then she'll say straight, I expected more from you. I'm like, but please expect less from me. She's like, no, I expected more from you. You understand what I'm saying? It goes together. The more the attachment, the more the pain. So, the only way out, the Buddha taught, number one, radically accept the isness of the human suffering condition. Number two, accept that the only way out of it now is to train your mind to think differently, to be different. And the Buddha taught it is only by living in the present moment. You will suffer, but watch your suffering. It is suffering of the past or suffering for the future. In the moment, if you're truly in this moment, you will not suffer. You're only suffering because you want this moment to be other than what it is. That means we're not accepting the isness of this moment. Check with yourself today. Every time you suffer, it's because you're not accepting this moment as it is. You want this moment to be other than what it is. From the simple to the profound. You look in the mirror, you see a wrinkle. Every day I see my new wrinkles and I go, why? Because I'm not accepting the isness of my new wrinkles. Finish. That beautiful non wrinkled face, gone, dead, not here. I'm in resistance. I'm not in acceptance. Next, move on. My child is getting up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm in resistance. I'm in suffering. Why? Because I'm not accepting, she's a teenager. She has been awake all night. She will wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No, she should not wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. No, how could she? I'm suffering, and on and on and on. I look at my bank account. Bank account is going down, 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 down. Oh, it's not what it should be because my fantasy is it should go up. How can it? I'm in a coronavirus freaking pandemic. It is what it is. Okay, I need to accept. And on and on and on. I want to see my parents in India. Oh, I cannot see them. Maybe my parents will die before I see them. Yes, my thoughts about the future, suffering. I'm not accepting the isness of the present moment. You see, I'm showing you in my life how many times I set myself up for suffering because I'm not living in the isness of the isness. I'm not accepting it is what it is. It is what it is. So 1,000,001 times a day, all I tell myself, Shefali, accept it is what it is. It is what it is. It is. I have bracelets that say it is what it is. The mantra in my mind, it is what it is. It is. Okay, I'm not accepting. Why am I crying right now? I'm not accepting. Why am I angry right now? I'm not accepting. What am I resisting? The isness of the isness of the isness. Why? I want the past. I'm scared of the future. I want the past. I'm scared of the future. This is it. This is the entire Buddha's teaching in a nutshell. I have given it to you. This is the entire course of meditation in a nutshell, the didactic version. We suffer because we think our thoughts of the past, our thoughts of the future. That's it. End of story. The minute you realize that, you begin to awaken. But it's a brute of a journey. It's a hell of a ride. It is a pain in the ass. To wake up, pain in the ass. Because now you're accountable. Now you have to do something about your suffering. You can't just bitch, complain, and cry. Holy shit. The Buddha gave the path out. You're like, okay, don't give me the path. I don't want to walk on the path. There is a path. And no one wants to walk the path because now you have to walk the path. Every day you have to say, it is what it is, it is what it is, it is what it is. My child is not that child. My child is my child. My face is my face. My body is my body. My life is my life. Who wants to do that? We want to suffer. We want to be victims. Why me? Why my face? Why my child? You can't ask these sort of questions when you're on a path of awakening. Damn it. You can't. You can't say, why me? You can't. It's so annoying. Really, once I awoke, my life became so boring. No more gossiping, no more drowning myself in my sorrows. Damn it. All the time was the mirror. Look at yourself, look at yourself, look at yourself. I'm like, no, I don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up just yet. Right? So, this is awakening. You have to grow up. You have to take charge of your happiness. And there is a way. There is a way. Really, really, there is a way. Out of the most brutal suffering, there is a way. But you have to walk it. And how to walk it? Acceptance of the isness and entering the present moment. These are the brutal ways we have to train our mind to take charge of our own happiness. There is a way, you know, the Buddha gave a way. And I'm sorry for talking about the Buddha, but if it was anybody else, like Bazibel Dot or Mr. Unicorn, I'll call him Mr. Unicorn. I mean, I don't mind. It can be anybody. It just happens to be the Buddha, so I'm calling him the Buddha. Who cares? It's the teachings that are important. And the teachings are that the only way out of suffering is to first accept where you are. So people confuse acceptance with apathy. So a woman who's being beaten up by her husband, and she comes to me and I say, accept the isness, right? She goes, what do you mean accept it? I can't condone it. I go, no, 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 no. I'm not talking about condoning it. I'm not talking about being a pushover. I'm talking about seeing it for what it is. You are being abused. Now, the minute you see it for what it is, there are no excuses. It's not, oh, I got abused on a Tuesday because I said something wrong. Oh, I didn't put enough salt in the food, so I got abused. He talked badly to me because, poor guy, he put on 5 pounds. He's in a bad mood. No, 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 no. Right? To see the isness of the isness is without embellishment, without adornment. It is fucked up. Now what? Now we go to second step. In the present moment, what do I need to do? What action can I take? Right? No more saying, but why is he like this? But why he used to be so nice? It used to be lovely. Well, it's not right now. Now it is what it is. Now, what action can I take? Now, after accepting, after entering the present moment, the only place to start taking action is now. Now, we only have three actions to take. Only three. We can leave, which is often the best choice. We can leave physically or leave emotionally. I'll talk about it in a second. The second thing is we can change. We can change the other. We can change our circumstance. We can change the other, coming back to the other. Third, we can accept. Accept that it's shitty. Accept that I'm being beaten every day. Accept that the abuse will continue. Then no complaining. So, which one is it? Do you want to leave? Now, many of us cannot leave physically, but we can leave emotionally. We can stop reacting. We can go, huh? I don't engage. But if we're being abused physically, we must leave physically. Okay, we must leave. Go to, I don't know, the police station. We must leave. Many women are writing to me that they are scared of the physical abuse. And I tell them, we must leave. How, Dr. Shefali? We are in a lockdown. I go, I don't know. Call the police. We must leave. So let me not send the message of if people are suffering domestic abuse that they should not leave. I don't know. Find a way, reach out to someone and leave. But then if you can't leave physically, at least leave emotionally. Don't get emotionally connected to the trigger, right? Try to detach from the trigger emotionally. Second thing is change. Change the other. Try. Sure. Try to change the other. Try, 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 try. Let me tell you, it mostly doesn't work. But there's a sliver that it could work, right? Somebody could wake up. So we try. We always try. But we don't keep trying. And the last thing is we accept. We accept. But then the woman who's being beaten up says, I don't want to accept. Okay, then go back, then leave. Right? There's only few choices we can make. The choice emerges from your active action, right? Nobody can take an action for you. Rosa Parks took her own little self and sat at the back of the bus. Mahatma Gandhi took his own little self and marched India to freedom. Nelson Mandela took his own self into prison for 27 years. Martin Luther King took his own self to the pulpit and began preaching. Nobody can do this for you. You have to do it yourself. But you have to activate the change by seeing it for what it is without saying, oh, maybe it'll change in the future. Let me be beaten right now. It'll change in the future. And I'm using a gross example, a big example, to just make my point. Yes? I'm not making light of it. I'm just using it to make a point. Whatever you're unhappy about is because we are not accepting the isness. Not because it's easy to accept it, it's because we are just not even realizing that the only way out will be to accept it. It doesn't mean it's easy. It just means it's the only way. While it's hard, keep accepting. While it's hard and you're crying, say, I accept the isness. I accept the isness. I'm upset because the past is not in my present and I'm scared of the future. These are the only two reasons we are not accepting the present. While you're crying, while you're angry, realize it's because you're not accepting the isness. Next, be in the present moment. The only way now is to be in the present moment and to ask yourself, what action do I need to take right now to alleviate my suffering? One action, whatever that is, take it. Don't be apathetic. And if you can't take it, understand that you're not taking it. And this is the way you slowly begin to take charge of your own destiny and you get out of your own suffering. The Buddha said, number one, life is suffering. What he's trying to say is accept it. There is suffering at every person's door. I told you that story about the woman who went to the Buddha and said, please get my husband back or my son back. And the Buddha said, I will. I will. But first, get me mustard seeds. So she said, I will. So he said, but there's a condition. Get me the mustard seeds from a house that has never experienced death. She said, okay. So she went to look for the mustard seeds. One house, two houses, three houses. She's like, damn it, India is full of mustard seed. Why can't I find a house that doesn't have mustard seeds? Well, that wasn't the problem. She just couldn't find the mustard seeds from a house that had not experienced death. And then she realized, the Buddha is trying to show me I am not special. I may be unique, but I am not special. Death has come to everybody. So it is what it is, what it is. Life is a shit show. Okay, it is hell on wheels. It is chaos every minute. The fact that you've had a good life till now is a freaking blessing. Like, I don't know how you had a good life. Be grateful. What? You had a happy marriage? Be grateful. What? You had a mother and father? Whoa. My best friend, age 19, lost her father, assassinated. Okay, so it's not a given. The reason we are crying is because we had it. The fact that we had it, you lost your job, but you had a job. Wow, right? Shift the perspective. Become humble, right? The fact that we're crying over the loss of our whatever, the loved one, is because we had the loved one in the first place. Wow, I had it. And because I had it, now I'm loving it so much I want it. That's why I'm crying, right? Put it in perspective. And I'm afraid for the future. Future doesn't exist. I'm not guaranteed a future. I am that humble. I need to know I'm not guaranteed a future. I'm not guaranteed another moment. So again, you're back in the present, back in the present, back in the present. And when you're in the present, you're like, okay, I get it. I'm crying because I loved. But the fact that I loved is because I had. So I had. I'm grateful. I had it. Now I lost it, but I had it, right? And now I'm in the present. I want to be in the future. That's insanity, right? Any thought about the future is delusional. That we got to get rid of. This corona has had to have taught you that there is no future, because the fact that we never imagined this just shows whatever future you're imagining is the imagination. It is going to be unrivaled. It is unrivaled by what could happen. You have no idea what could happen, and this corona has taught me to zip my mouth about the future. Never again think you're psychic, Shefali, because you never predicted this and neither did any psychic. So the fact that nobody knew this was going to come, even rich and grand America couldn't predict this. Well, that just shows whatever future you're planning is a waste of your time. Do the bare minimum, right? Just put a little bit of stock in the future, but don't expect it, right? I'm writing a book right now for the future. I'm just having fun with it. I'm just like, okay, I don't know whether it'll come out. I don't know whether the publishing house will still be there. I don't know whether we will still be alive, right? I'm just writing it. Now we do things for the future with a whole dose of humility, like, because we don't know the future. We have no idea what's coming next, right? Pigs could fly. Honestly, pigs could fly because we never experienced, we never thought, I never knew the word lockdown. I didn't know the word quarantine. I didn't know how to spell it. And now we're all, the children, as the 4 year olds know how to spell quarantine. Now pigs could fly, as far as I'm concerned. So no thoughts of the future. Thoughts of the past are only because you have lost something. The fact that you lost it is because you had it. So of course you're going to suffer because you're attached. But really, in the present moment, if you're alive and you're breathing, you're okay. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm okay. This is the chant. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I'm okay. Thank you for listening, everyone. I do teach meditation for free. I will be doing it in 20-ish minutes on another website, on another Facebook group, sorry. It's facebook.com/groups/get super powered/. Somebody will post it. Come join me. Learn to meditate. It's the only way to live in the present moment. Thank you for listening. I will see you when I see you.